This is the video people ask us to make every year, answering the biggest Disney World question of them all. Will 2025 be the summer we'll see an empty Disney World? We've got the data and we're ready to spill all today on DFB Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. With the days getting longer and the temperatures getting warmer, it's plain to see that summer is just around the corner, which means family vacation time for a lot of us. That means it's the perfect time for us to revisit that daunting Disney World question that plagues us year after year. Will Disney World be empty this summer? We got a lot of unique factors to consider today that haven't been topics in our past summer prediction videos, simply because, well, 2025 is giving us some tricky situations to mull over that could sway Disney World's summer crowds one way or the other. So we're breaking things down, looking at the numbers and travel trends so you don't have to, all while helping you plan your family vacation no matter what the crowds will end up looking like. So here's why it could be empty this summer at Disney World. First up, Epic Universe. Yep, you knew this one was coming, right? In just a few short weeks, May 22nd to be exact, Universal Orlando's third park gate, Epic Universe, will finally be open to the public. And yes, families could very well choose to stay strictly inside the Universal Orlando bubble during their Florida vacation versus branching out to Disney. According to economic forecasts, Epic Universe alone is expected to generate $2 billion for the state of Florida in its first year of operations. That's a big deal for Universal, considering the resort generated $44 billion in economic impact between 2019 and 2023. That means in just 1 year, Epic Universe on its own will have made 5% of what Universal Orlando has been able to accumulate in 5 years' time. To be fair, that's not even sneeze-worthy compared to what a single park in Disney World can make the state of Florida in 1 year's time. During just the 2024 fiscal year, Disney World reported they generated $40 billion, which is nearly as much as Universal Orlando's been able to contribute to the state in 5 years. So, is this Epic Universe expansion really something Disney World should be keeping an eye on? Should they really be quaking over one new park that'll make $2 billion as compared to their 40? Honestly, yeah, it's probably going to make a bit of an impact on Disney. Analysts suggest Epic Universe could cut into Disney World's attendance by roughly 1 million visitors in 2025 and 2026, while boosting overall attendance at Universal Orlando Resort by over 8 million. So if people are choosing to invest more in Universal trips versus Disney World trips in the future, Disney World's going to have to kick it into high gear to figure out how to win people back. But again, why? Even with a new Universal park in tow, Disney World's still number one when it comes to family-friendly entertainment and variety. So the general thinking is that a rising tide lifts all boats. Lots of people are going to go to Epic Universe, but they might branch out to Disney too, and vice versa. But there's also the fact that now the Universal bubble is becoming a place that you really don't have to leave in order to have a full vacation. And this might be the real deciding factor. Once upon a time, Universal Orlando was maybe a 1 or 2 day visit. So you could spend the bulk of your vacation at Disney, but take a break away to see Universal stuff and then head straight on back to Disney when you were done. While Disney still has a much bigger resort property than Universal, the gap isn't nearly as big as it used to be. Universal's now made up of 3 parks, lots of hotels, including 3 brand new ones, the Volcano Bay Water Park, and a City Walk district, so you could very well spend your whole vacation here without feeling like you've seen and done it all in less than 48 hours. And Epic Universe is turning out to be at least a 2-day park. So Universal's playing the long game here. It's investing a whole lot in its new resorts and park, and even investing in new sections within their already existing parks to make sure they keep the intrigue coming and the money flowing in, and ultimately Disney on their toes. They're going to kick off their long game this summer. Next reason why Disney might be a little bit lighter on the crowds this summer is that it is a year of construction. While Universal is going to keep busy dazzling guests with their new attractions and hotels and lands throughout 2025, Disney World will be in major construction mode. Here's a little recap in case you missed it. In Magic Kingdom, the Liberty Square Riverboat and Tom Sawyer's Island will close to make way for the new Cars Land coming to this section of the park. Beyond that, Magic Kingdom will also be busy working on its new Villains Land too. Plus, Big Thunder Mountain is also undergoing a major overhaul right now and isn't slated to open until later on in 2026. In Animal Kingdom, half of Dinoland USA is already closed so that Imagineers can start up on the Tropical Americas re-theme that'll be taking over this entire area. The rest of the Dinoland attractions remain open for now, but are slated to close by the end of the year. On top of that, the Tree of Life is also experiencing major construction inside its structure, gutting out the former It's Tough to Be a Bug show to replace it with the new Zootopia Better Together show. In Hollywood Studios, the whole Muppets Courtyard area is going to be shutting down permanently so that Monsters Inc. land can start taking over. Mama Melrose's Ristorante Italiano's last day of operations is May 10th, and Muppet Vision and Pizza Rizzo will be finished on June 7th. That is a lot for Disney fans to process. To be fair, Universal isn't the only theme park property who knows how to play the long game. Actually, Disney kind of invented the long game for theme parks, which is why Disney recently set aside $60 billion to help expand and improve on their domestic parks and their international parks and their resorts and cruise line too. Now, we got a whole video explaining in depth what this $60 billion is going to be funneled into, but just to give you a little context for the sake of today's topic, Disney wants to expand its experiences department over the course of 10 years. That means that all the shiny new stuff that Disney currently has planned isn't going to poof appear overnight, which also means those big new lands that Disney's proposed for Disney World specifically won't see the light of day until 2027 or 2028. As exciting as it is to know Disney's got a whole lot of new stuff in the works, that does mean Disney World will have to experience some major growing pains and a lot of construction walls now to make it all happen. So families may choose to hold off taking those big Disney World vacations in 2025 if it means waiting on all the new stuff to open a couple of years down the road. Let's talk staycations next. So studies are showing that due to the potential recession that American citizens are bracing for, 67% of Americans are considering alternative vacation options and 72% are opting for road trips, with 61% planning staycations. To further recession-proof these vacations, travelers are also looking into doing things like choosing more affordable destinations like the beach, the mountains, the national parks, or just taking time off to lounge around the house, lodging in cheaper accommodations like Airbnbs or bunking with a family friend, and traveling during non-peak travel seasons in the hopes that prices will go down and more discounts will be available, so not summer. This travel plan B for families does not bode well for an expensive vacation destination like Disney World. Even if guests are still good to go on the Disney World vacation front, there's a high chance that families will adjust their Disney World trip to help save money, like choosing to go for a weekend instead of an entire week, or skipping out on extras like Lightning Lane purchases, table service restaurants, or maybe even staying off property to prevent paying that $200 plus on a room per night. So how has Disney prepped for potential recessions in the past? Well, during the 2008-2009 recession, CEO Bob Iger added discounts on hotel rooms, vacation packages, and park tickets. While the discounts on the tickets were relatively modest, the hotel room promotions were a lot more impactful, bringing in more guests who might not have normally booked a Disney vacation during a recession. When a threat of recession was looming over the states again in 2022, Disney World released hotel and ticket deals during that time, but they weren't all that different from the deals we've seen available at Disney World's special offers page. And in 2025, well, the summer discounts are alive and well, but I'll talk more about those a little bit later on. So discounts or not, Disney World is still an expensive trip, and if families can wait until they feel more comfortable about traveling with the funds they've saved, then there's a higher chance that they might do so in exchange for a vacation that's closer to home and thousands of dollars less. Okay, not to pin all the blame on Epcot here, but there's possibly going to be a festival dry spell going on again for summer 2025. Flower and Garden Festival's final day is June 2nd, and if the next Epcot festival, Food and Wine, decides to let history repeat itself, we shouldn't expect this one to start up until the latter half of August. Now, this isn't a new trend for Food and Wine, though it might feel that way. The current Food and Wine timeframe is more the norm for Epcot, but after the 2020 closures, Food and Wine became a lengthy festival there for a while to garner interest in the park during unprecedented times. In 2020, 2021, and 2022, Food and Wine ran from mid-July to late November, which was wild considering 2021 and 22 also had longer flower and garden offerings, starting in early March and ending in early July, only days before Food and Wine would commence. So it was just festival after festival with barely any breathing room in between. 2023 started pushing back the Food and Wine start date a bit, kicking off towards the end of July instead, and last year led to both Flower and Garden and Food and Wine getting cut back to pre-COVID dates, where a good gap of the summer was left festival-less. Perhaps this isn't a key reason for families to stay away from Disney World this summer, but it definitely can be a reason for some. After all, each Epcot festival brings with it dozens of limited edition foods to try, big-time artists and local talent, and several activities you can only experience during a specific festival. With the lack of festivals potentially happening this summer, that could be enough for some travel groups to hang tight and wait until the fall before taking those big vacations, especially with everything else impacting travel this year. Okay, Disney versus Disney. Would you believe that Disney World this summer might be empty because Disney Parks and Experiences is getting in its own way? It's easy to get wrapped up in the Disney World bubble and forget that there are so many other things happening around the Disney scene. Disneyland, for example, starting on May 16th and running until summer 2026, Disneyland's going to be celebrating its 70th birthday. That means Disneyland's going to be decked out in special 70th anniversary decor, a glow up on Sleeping Beauty Castle and the Main Street USA Railroad Station. Mickey, Minnie, and friends are going to be donning new outfits in honor of the big 7-0. Along with that, It's a Small World will feature a new projection show that also keeps up the 70th anniversary spirit. Toy Story Midway Mania and DCA will get a festive overlay. World of Color is going to be getting an upgrade featuring the Muppets and Boys to Men. The Better Together, a Pixar Pals celebration parade's returning to the park. And a huge deal for a lot of Disneyland fans out there, Disneyland's Paint the Night Parade is returning on May 16th as part of the 70th anniversary celebration, as well as the Wondrous Journeys nighttime show. But wait, there's more. On July 17th, 2025, Disneyland Park is going to debut Walt Disney: A Magical Life, where we're going to be able to see Walt Disney through the magic of audio animatronics technology, which means there will be an actual audio animatronic Walt Disney standing in front of us for the first time ever. This is going to be opening in the Main Street Opera House in rotation with Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. And then, of course, we've got returning festivals and events coming to Disneyland this summer too, like Disney Junior Let's Play Party Day, the kickoff of Halloween season starting August 22nd, and after-hours events like Pride Night on June 16th and 18th, as well as Oogie Boogie Bash starting on August 17th and running on select nights until Halloween. Meanwhile, over on the Disney Cruise Line scene, the Disney Treasure is the newest ship on the Ocean Blue. The Treasure took its maiden voyage back on December 21st, 2024. The inaugural season of the Disney Treasure offers 7-night sailings to the Eastern and Western Caribbean from Port Canaveral, including stops at Castaway Cay, and this itinerary will continue through at least summer 2026. Disney Cruise Line might also be the reason families hold off on taking a summer vacation this year altogether, since they might want to be one of the first passengers aboard one of Disney's 2 brand new ships that are getting ready to sail towards the end of the year. Disney Destiny is going to set sail on November 20th, 2025, offering 4- and 5-night cruises to the Bahamas and Western Caribbean during her inaugural season, with voyages stopping at one or both of Disney Cruise Line's destinations, Castaway Cay and the new Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. Aboard the Disney Destiny, you gotta choose a side, heroes or villains. But no matter which side you choose, you're gonna be able to take part in both heroic and villainous activities all cruise long. Lucky you. With new offerings like Pride Lands, Feast of the Lion King, DeVille's Piano Lounge, and the Disney Hercules stage show. And then Disney's next new ship, the Disney Adventure, which will set sail on her maiden voyage out of Singapore on December 15th, 2025. This is going to be Disney's first ship to have a home port in Singapore and sailing throughout Southeast Asia. It's going to offer 3- and 4-night voyages with even more new offerings, including, but not limited to, Remember the Stage Show, based around Pixar's greatest films, San Francisco Street, inspired by Big Hero 6, and Marvel Landing, which is going to feature the first ever roller coaster aboard a Disney Cruise Line ship, as well as the longest coaster ever at sea, measuring 820 feet in length. This doesn't really go along with the whole choosing more affordable trips mindset for domestic travelers, but it's still important to point out that last summer, Tokyo Disney Sea also majorly expanded their park with a new Fantasy Springs section, with areas focused around popular stories like Tangled and Frozen and Peter Pan. Oh, and there's a new Fantasy Springs hotel that has an entrance that leads directly into this park too. And currently, Paris is completely transforming their Walt Disney Studios park into Disney Adventure World, which is going to include new lands, including the Lion King Land and World of Frozen. Again, these major changes won't be up and ready for the public until later on in 2026, but again, families might hold off on taking a big Disney trip now if they know there's a Disney trip waiting for them in the future that's going to be completely different from anything they've ever experienced before. For those who saved for a big Disney vacation, but who also may not want to spend thousands of dollars visiting Disney World when it's in a very construction-heavy state, Disney fans might go ahead and tell Disney World that's okay, take your time, and choose a different Disney vacation destination to help fill the void in the meantime. Okay, now, with all the reasons pointing to an empty Disney World this summer, you might be ready to accept that that's just what's going to happen. But I don't think I'd count out the potential of high summer crowds just yet. Here's why. Epic Universe. What? AJ, are you going to go back on everything you just said earlier? Nope, the truth still stands. Epic Universe is a shiny new toy with shiny new properties that are going to attract guests like moths to a flame. But as we've seen in the past, and what Disney's already seen currently, when one of these theme parks does well, everybody wins, right? Raising tide lifts all boats. During a shareholder meeting back in April 2024, Bob Iger dropped a big truth bomb. Disney has known about Epic Universe much longer than the public has. But has Disney been scared about this new theme park competitor? Nope. At least they're not going to say that out loud. During Disney's 2024 Q4 earnings call this past November, Iger answered a question about how Disney was preparing for the opening of Epic Universe. He started by pointing out that over the course of Walt Disney World history, the openings of other major attractions in the Central Florida area, including Universal's own Islands of Adventure in 1999, were actually beneficial for Disney's bookings and overall numbers back in the day, with many travelers extending Florida vacations to add time to visit another attraction as opposed to skipping Disney entirely. And 3 months after the Q4 call, during Disney's Q1 2025 earnings call, Disney confirmed that they were anticipating their experience segment would be seeing an operating income growth of between 6% and 8% this year. When asked if this took Epic Universe into account, Disney CFO Hugh Johnston stated that as Disney built their plans, they anticipated some small impact for Epic Universe opening and hedged around accordingly. Furthermore, Johnston talked a little bit about the early numbers they're already seeing ahead of the summer season, which will directly follow Epic Universe's May opening. Johnston said that bookings are up for the summer for Disney World right now and are certainly feeling positive. But let's also keep in mind 3 things. A, these positive bookings were talked about before the threat of recession was on the table. B, there's a good chance Disney's saying these things to keep hold of investors' interests, even while they're canopied in the shadows of Epic Universe. And C, that 6% to 8% income growth doesn't just cover Disney World. It covers all of Disney's parks and experience segment, including Disneyland, international parks, and Cruise Line too. But then again, there's no hiding the fact that Disney's thinking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead, using Epic Universe's intrigue to their advantage. Remember the whole point about Disney being in major construction mode throughout 2025? Ironically enough, all the shiny new stuff happening over in Epic Universe could actually help keep Disney's numbers up even during this time of major refurbishments. If Disney decided to do all these refurbs all at once while nothing else in the Orlando area was persuading vacationers to travel down south, then yeah, maybe Disney's numbers would have taken a bigger hit this summer. But thanks to Epic, Disney could still be able to have their cake and eat it too. What I mean by that is Disney can stay in major construction mode and still get all the Epic Universe crowds if families decide they still want to do the whole Disney Universal circuit while they're already in the area. And of course, new stuff is on the horizon. Okay, so we've already established Disney World's not exactly going to be in its prime this summer, but that doesn't mean there's nothing to look forward to. Disney refuses to stay stagnant, especially during a time that they know families will be itching to take big, memorable trips when school's out of session. Over in Magic Kingdom, the park's getting a new nighttime parade this summer called Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away, which is going to feature floats all lit up and showcasing some of Disney's most iconic movies like Encanto and Moana, Peter Pan, Coco, and more. Disney said this parade will be using the latest technology to tell new stories about the characters you love, but I'm just happy to see that we have another electric light parade going on. Over in Epcot, a brand new version of Test Track is going to be speeding through World Discovery in late summer. This revamped ride will highlight scenes featuring technological advances for mobility. Now, we don't know much about the new Test Track beyond that, but we do know Imagineers are taking direct influences from World of Motion, one of my favorite rides in Epcot in the 80s. So I'm very excited to see what happens. Along with Test Track 3.0, a new tribute to Spaceship Earth is coming to Epcot June 4th. According to Disney, Geo82 is going to immerse guests in the storied history and enduring legacy of this timeless Epcot icon, and it's a big old bar. Yep, it's going to be a lounge. Disney's also promised delicious culinary creations specifically designed for the location. Great. But Geo82 is going to require advanced dining reservations, which open on May 6th. And it'll be exclusively available for guests 21 and older. This is fascinating. Very interesting. We've never had a lounge that is just 21 and over, except for Jelly Rolls outside of the Disney World parks. So I'm eager to see what is going on here. that sort of thing usually doesn't happen in the park. So I can't wait. I'm just sitting here with bated breath like, what's going to happen with this new lounge? And are they going to start doing that more often? I don't know. Now, over in Hollywood Studios, we've got 2 new live entertainment shows getting ready to hit the scene. On May 27th, both Disney villains Unfairly Ever After and The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure, are going to be making their big park debuts. Unfairly Ever After is going to summon fan favorite Disney villains who are going to put the fate of the show directly in your hands. And The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure, is going to retell the story of The Little Mermaid animated film. This is basically just a revamp of The Little Mermaid puppet show that was there before, but people are super jazzed that it's coming back. So the tug of FOMO will still be alive and well inside the Disney World bubble, and who knows, maybe Disney's got even more up their sleeve that they have yet to announce. We're gonna have to wait and see. Now, discounts. I told you I'd get back to discounts. Disney wants you. Disney needs you. And boy, howdy, they've got the summer discounts to persuade you. On Disney's special offers page, there's an entire tab just for can't miss offers for summer 2025. I feel like every day they're announcing more discounts for this summer, so they're definitely feeling the pinch. Anyway, let's see what the special deals are. I'm just going to be doing a basic overview of the summer discounts that we're seeing so far, but please do your research, read the fine print, and find out what Disney World discounts work best for you before you book that trip. Now, first up on the list, we got save 50% on select kids ages 3 to 9 tickets from May 27 to September 20th. You can get a free dining plan with the purchase of non-discounted 4-night, 4-day Walt Disney World Travel Company room and ticket packages for arrivals most nights between June 29th to September 30th. You rarely see a second free dining kind of time frame offered, which means, again, they are struggling a little bit, need people to come in. There's a special summer 3-day 3-park ticket where tickets start at $89 per day, total price $267 plus tax. Now, this only includes admission to Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom. Can't get into Magic Kingdom with this discounted ticket. Start dates for these range from April 6th to September 22nd, 2025. There are early summer and later summer room offerings that save up to 30% on your hotel stay. 30% is pretty high. Usually we don't see more than 20 or 25%. Sometimes we will see 30 and 40%. So hold on and we'll see if 40% happens. Oh, look at this. Annual pass holders. You can save 40% on rooms for stays most nights from June 1st to July 31st. There are some 2026 discounts that might make people hold off on that 2025 trip as well. Disney just released a free dining plan for kids deal for ages 3 to 9 that'll be available for those who've booked Disney vacation packages. And Disney's also just released a free dining promo for 2026 guests who'll be traveling from the UK and Ireland. But it's the same situation. Can't use this promo in 2025. You gotta wait to use it in 2026. Now, while Disney World's summer has always been a notoriously busy season for the Orlando area, meaning prices tend to skyrocket around this time, it seems that Disney's giving families a whole lot of ways to possibly save that you're not going to necessarily find during other times of the year. Does that mean Disney vacations this summer are going to be cheap? Not at all. But it could be cheaper and therefore more obtainable for some who potentially thought a Disney vacation was way out of their reach, especially during the summer when their kids are out of school. Okay, let's talk about the water parks. Who would have thought the water parks would be one of the biggest selling points for Disney World this summer? But it is true. They made the right choice on this one. The Disney water parks are desperate to get guests through their doors, so much so that they are offering deals that could still be a good option for families who are trying to be a little more budget sensitive with their vacations this summer. So let's review here. Guests staying at a Disney World-owned hotel are going to receive free water park tickets for everyone on the reservation on check-in day. Yep, you got the chance to enter a Disney park for $0.00. The main catch is that this perk is only good on the hotel check-in day. So if you arrive in Orlando late, there's not really a rollover option here unless your resort says otherwise, but that's all up to your hotel's discretion. Fortunately, you don't need to be checked into your room for the perk to be recognized, which is a relief since your room usually won't be ready until around 3 or 4 p.m. and the water parks tend to close around 5 to 6 p.m. I shouldn't say checked in. Be checked in, do early check-in, but you don't have to be like in your room. Now, the only requirement is that your hotel reservation and everyone staying in your hotel room is properly linked to your My Disney Experience account. So both Disney water parks are going to be open at the same time this summer as well, right? It's a miracle. We haven't seen both Disney water parks open at the same time since the 2020 closures. It's like when one of them was open, the other one didn't exist. However, beginning May 21st and lasting through September 7th, both Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach are going to be open and available, meaning guests will be able to choose which water park they want to use their free admission for. I think that's mostly happening because the water parks were just getting way too full with all of these hotel guests, and so they kind of had to do this. But hey, we'll take it. Also, H2O Glow is returning. If you don't mind paying extra for fewer crowds, H2O Glow is that after-hours event in Typhoon Lagoon. It's an extra ticket event, going to happen on select nights between May 23rd to September 13th. Like I said, extra ticket, you have to pay extra for it. And it features a glow-in-the-dark fun extravaganza after the sun goes down. So shorter wait times, cooler temperatures, which is a huge deal for Orlando, even when you're at a water park. You've got exclusive menu items, DJ dance part or Disney character appearances, and free snacks like ice cream treats and popcorn and bottled sodas too. It's basically the best way to go to a water park, I'm not gonna lie, because it's so much better not having the sun beating down on you. So let's talk about our verdict here after taking everything into account. I think the most important takeaway from today is never underestimate Disney crowds, ever. Despite the Universal Orlando competition, looming recession, major construction zones around the parks, you never want to assume that Disney's going to have a crowd slump, especially during the summer months, which has always been a prime time for families to do major traveling. Even if Disney does have crowds that ebb and flow throughout June, July, and August, which it will, I promise, because we're in those parks every single day, and we could be in one area of Magic Kingdom where it's super crowded when someone else is in another area of Magic Kingdom and says, what are you talking about? It's super, super empty here. So ebb and flow is the name of the game. But if you're planning on vacationing in Disney World this summer, plan as though it will be crowded instead of gambling on maybe it won't be. This means you need to snag those summer hotel discounts before they book up, because yes, they can and do book up. Lock in any advanced dining reservations you know you want to prioritize. Study up on lightning lanes to decide which parks, if any, you want to use them for. We've even created a free lightning lane guide for you, so if you need a helping hand with that, scan the QR code you see on the screen now or head to disneyfoodblog.com/multipass to pick yours up. Again, totally free. Also, make sure you take plenty of breaks throughout the day, not just because of the crowds, but because of the heat too. And most importantly, set your expectations and don't overplan. Chances are you're not going to be able to do everything you want to do in a single summer Disney visit. I can't do everything I want to do in any visit. So choose your top priorities for each park and allow anything else you get the chance to accomplish to be sort of icing, sprinkles, gravy, and cherries. Sound good? Sounds good. Okay, now we've got even more videos that are going to help you plan around whatever crowds you end up facing during your next Disney World vacation. So go ahead and check out our Disney World line hacks video, or the best time of the year to go to Disney World in 2025 next. And as always, stay tuned for more Disney World and Universal Orlando videos to come. By the way, if you're not subscribed yet to the channel, please subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and then you get to see all the cool stuff we do. I can't wait to share all of our learnings, all of our mistakes, all of our, random inside jokes with you. Go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.